like I said, I was a little surprised when I saw it.
Yeah.
I think, oh, I thought they might be done enough construction for a while, but no.
I think they're gonna, I don't remember all he told me, but they did have all that admissions and financial aid, all those things were in that first floor of the older building, and now they've got all that space that
Yeah.
can be used for other purposes.
Mr. Chair, it is 6:30.
And do we have everybody we're expecting?
We
Okay.
do.
All right, this is, we will call the meeting of the Architectural Review Board to order for September 11th. And ask that you call the roll if you would, please.
Absolutely. Vice Chair Jones is not with us. Chair Lavalley.
Here.
Secretary Ritter.
Here.
Member Parsons.
Here.
Alternate Bartlesmeyer is not with us. Alternate Ratterman.
Here.
Our council member liaison Nyon is not with us, but our commission liaison Cone.
Yeah.
We do have quorum. Thank you.
And I thought I saw that Councilmember Nyam was going to be here.
She was, and then she ended up having another.
Oh, okay,
commitment.
all right. I just remember seeing a notice earlier. Okay. You have before you the minutes of the July 10th meeting. So a motion would be in order to approve the minutes unless there are any amendments or corrections. Motion, please. Very Ritter. Is there a second? Mr. Parsons, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. The agenda, we have two issues which are signed things tonight, which we will be dealing with. Any changes or additions to the agenda that we need to do before we proceed? If not, we will proceed. Public comment, we have to allow for public comments, which we not necessarily signed to these cases. And are there any public comments or any online or anywhere that we have?
At this time, if you are online and would like to make public comment, please use the raise hand feature. We just lost our online attendee, so we have no public comments.
No public comment. All right. Is there any old business? I don't see any that I know of, and if no one has any, we will now proceed to new business. And the first case would be the Mint and Martini Restaurant, and ask it to read in the case if you would, please.
Mint Martini Restaurant, 2490 Taylor Road. An initial review of 3 permanent flat signs affixed to 3 out of 4 facades of the building, which require multiple variances from the Board of Adjustment. This particular property is located in Ward 8.
All right, Mr. Chair, members of this board, tonight, our first case involves a restaurant that is located in the downtown district of Wildwood Town Center. And it's on the western outskirts of the Deerberg Shopping Center on a parcel of ground which totals 17.42 acres. It is in the southwest corner of the shopping center. It is zoned C8 Planned Commercial District and has an underlying governing ordinance associated with it. The restaurant does have frontage on Taylor Road. This new business is requesting variances from the Wildwood Board of Adjustment for the purpose of maintaining 3 permanent flat signs that are already affixed to 3 out of 4 walls of the building. These signs are identical in character, and each of them exceed the following requirements of the city. The height of the lettering of the signs are 36 inches in lieu of the required 24 inches. The signs are internally lit, with the governing ordinance specifying that wall signage be externally lit or backlit. And the subject walls are not fabricated with individual pinned on channel letters, but rather a band style arrangement, which does not meet the minimum mounting requirement of 1 inch of separation between the applicable representation and the associated building elevation. The applicant has provided the following depiction of the sign to the department. The sign is 3 feet tall and 10 feet wide, and has 3 inches of depth to it. The department did visit the site and take a few pictures of the signs. This is a close-up of the signage. This is the east elevation of the building, looking at it from the Deerbirds shopping parking lot. This is the northern elevation, standing in the inner courtyard area, looking at the building. And this is the southwestern elevation facing Taylor Road. Per chapter 415-400 sign regulations general, the Architectural Review Board is asked to provide its comments, suggestions, and recommendations, which will be provided to the Board of Adjustment in the form of a department memorandum. And typically we send this out either tomorrow or early next week so that you have a chance to look at it before the meeting. At this time, we ask for your discussion. Director Bunich and I are available for questions, and I don't know if Director Bunich wants to make a few comments.
No, sir. Steve did a fine job of summarizing the situation.
All right, thank you.
And is the representative of the applicant here?
No, sir.
Okay.
Um, looking at your pictures and actually looking at it in person when I drove through there, these signs are already up, right? Okay, so we're looking to approve the signs as they are in place. All right. Okay.
How did the cart get before the horse?
Yeah.
The applicant installed the signs without the benefit of authorization or permits. Once the signs were installed, began a lengthy process of trying to educate the applicant that first and foremost, you should have gotten permits, and what you've installed, which is identical to their sister restaurant in the city of Chesterfield, not consistent with our code. Months went by between the city and the applicant discussing next steps, and finally summons was issued to the business to appear in municipal court for violation of the permitting requirements. That's what prompted finally the Board of Adjustment application, which leads it to here tonight.
So isn't there a new, excuse me, a new sister restaurant that they're, where Indigo Joe's used to be? And that's, I believe, opening this week or next, but that's under the same ownership, isn't it?
Yes,
And their signs are up as well. So is there a problem there?
they're temporary banners.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So they're interim signs. Happened to be driving by when the sign company was installing the banners and stopped them. They had yet to apply for the temporary banner permit. And so had a discussion. Owner of the company was contacted by the installer. Was able to have a conversation. They've submitted the application and the application is in process. The banners are appropriate, meaning they meet the maximum size, height. And so the paperwork needed to catch up there as well, but it's not necessarily a permanent sign. Complicating this particular situation, the signs were made in India and shipped here.
Wow.
Before the tariffs.
I believe so, yes.
So what happens to the, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
What happens to the citation that they have that puts them in municipal court? If all this goes forward, does that go away, or do they still face that because it existed before they got the approvals?
The citation would go away if the Board of Adjustment grants the variance. We won't pursue that. We've delayed the court case until the board can act.
It seems we're having a problem with people following the established guidelines prior to putting signage up. How do we educate them? I mean, we know about the trailer at the reserves of wildlife benefit. It's on the agenda tonight. I find it difficult to, go backwards and approve something when no one even bothered to go by the rules.
I can assure you that Tom Lee, our city administrator, and I met with Ms. Patel explain the steps in the occupancy process, starting with the reoccupancy permit submittal that then is ultimately managed by St. Louis County and their inspection crew to the business license. And one of the last things we talked about was signs are a separate permit from the reoccupancy, so don't get confused. And yes, we seem to have a number of signs that either are installed without the benefit of permits, or when after the installation and go visit them, they're not installed according to plan. We have 2 of those up in Village Plaza. So working with the owner of the Village Plaza Center to address that.
The one that we previously acted on.
Yes. Yes.
So that was installed,
The monument sign.
monument sign.
That's the leverage that has allowed us to make some progress on a number of issues at the center. There's landscaping issues out in the parking lot and including in front of the leasable spaces. There's lights installed on the parking lot, standards that shine onto the buildings that aren't shielded. There were just a litany of things, and well, slowly but surely they're clicking them off. So we're getting close. And once we have that addressed, then we can issue the authorization for the monument sign. Thoughts on the signs themselves? I'll be the first to admit they're not unappealing in appearance. They're not.
No, they look fine. It's just a problem with, yeah, we'll put them up and worry about the city later.
Yeah, particularly with the size of that building, you know, they were okay. If it were a smaller building or a more compressed space, they might be kind of overbearing, but with the size of the structure they have, I found them kind of generally appealing and, yeah, but I don't know either what you do when you kind of come in and ask for permission after you've been slapped in the hand. It might be, I'll just throw out a thought that we communicate to the board, it goes to the planning and zoning
Board of Adjustment.
Board of Justice, excuse me, that, you know, while we are concerned that they have not followed the procedure, we would find a variance in this situation to be acceptable because in light of the size of the building and the size of the appearance of the sign, they look good. That's just a thought in terms of how we might approach it. But I think including in our comments that we were disappointed so that it's part of the record.
Certainly.
So
Other
going
thoughts or
forward,
comments? Yeah,
sorry. So going forward, let's say, for instance, there's a 6-story building going up at Main and Taylor. Can that developer have internally lit signs if we grant this to this particular petitioner?
Well, in that particular instance, there is a governing ordinance that would prohibit internal signage for that particular type of use. That inclusive of the first floor commercial and then anything that's in association with the apartment complex.
Does that same ordinance apply to the Deerbrook Center?
No. Back in 1999, when Deerberg's Town Center was approved, council was very concerned about Deerberg's not proceeding forward. And Deerberg's had a list of demands, and those demands included that the Deerberg supermarket and the inline retail attached to the supermarket could have 3 types of illumination: internal, external, and backlit. They did accommodate our desire to have the outbuildings either just external or backlit. So there's 2 types of lighting associated with that center. Certainly if the Rose Holdings wants to address the illumination of the signs, they can come back and request an amendment to the ordinance governing the site.
I don't think they will. They typically like to follow the rules.
If you look at Building D, which is across the street from the theater and the vacant lot where the apartment complex is, they have external or backlit signage. I think it's functioned well, but that's just my opinion.
What, does it set a precedence when we do this that we have to be concerned about down the line?
Your recommendation would not, because obviously it's a recommendation versus an action. But certainly your recommendation could carry weight in future discussions. The Board of Adjustment, we've been told by the city attorney on multiple occasions, an action by the board does not set a pattern for the future. So it has to do with case law and a lot of arguments that have occurred from the United States Supreme Court down to the Associate Circuit Court in St. Louis County. So yeah, signs are great.
So has anyone seen these signs lit up at night? I haven't, so I don't know if they look tacky.
They do not. Actually, I think they have met the requirements in terms of the wattage of the lamp and the Kelvin, which is that we used to call it temperature.
Martini glass isn't animated or anything.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Good.
fortunately. If it was, I'd probably be down to try and catch it when it's on the downside. So
Are there, because it's being lit different, are there any conditions we would need to be concerned with that if we haven't specified, they might change because it hasn't been specified? We made the variance for the sign, but the intensity of the light or something there that they would take advantage of it because of the variance. I guess that's what I'm asking.
Mr. Chair, that's an excellent suggestion, and if you are going to make a recommendation that the signs fit the wall proportionately, and that for all intents and purposes, it's not necessarily a bad looking sign, but you would want the sign to meet all requirements of the city's sign regulations, minus what the board would grant.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
That's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Is there any concern on the materials used in the building of these signs? You said they were built in Asia and shipped.
They seem to have, they've been up for a bit and weathered several storms, and the ones in Chesterfield, I drive by those on my way home at night.
So when you say the sister store in Chesterfield, that's the one by the former mall,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think it's called Red Pepper. or
the
something.
red chili.
Oh, is that the sister company? Okay.
This applicant owns that as well. So in terms of material, seems to be a well-constructed site. You know, from what I could see standing by them and looking up at them, but
Any other comments, thoughts? What I mentioned, plus I guess is what would be our comments or recommendations, plus what the extension, the discussion Joe and I had in terms of the lighting and the other conditions there, so.
Thank you. The department will summarize those comments and allow you to review its memorandum next week.
You don't require a formal action, just our comments, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
thank you.
We're on to our next case, and I believe there again, the reserve at Wildwood, I guess, is fine issue, so we'll read in whatever we need to read in.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Reserve at Wildwood, 17225 Manchester Road, an initial review of a temporary vinyl banner sign to be mounted on a temporary construction trailer with each associated with a 150-lot residential development project, and both requiring variances from the Board of Adjustment. This particular property is located in the Ward.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I believe you have become pretty familiar with this site. This is the site of the Reserve, a 115 lot residential subdivision that's currently being developed by McKelvey Homes. It's located just west of 100 or 109 and north of Old Manchester Road and has frontage on each of them. It is, this parcel of ground is 50.7 acres in size. It is zoned R3 10,000 square foot residence district with a planned residential development overlay district associated with it. It is located in the neighborhood edge transition district of the Wildwood Town Center. Most of you are familiar also. This is the lot layout of the subdivision. This is the grading plan that was provided by the applicant. The applicant requests an exception to the regulations governing temporary structures and signs for the purpose of maintaining a construction trailer on site that is to contain and secure materials for development and construction purposes, along with a wrap covering or temporary sign covering the side of it that faces 109. And then on this plan, you can see circled the red area. That is the location of the trailer currently. But my understanding is that it will be moved around as the development progresses if approved. This temporary sign is depicted here. It displays the name of the company, the name of the development, and a phone number. It is 8.5 feet high and 47 feet wide and affixed to the side of the construction trailer. Located within your packets this evening is a material sheet for the sign. It's a polyester sign that would wrap the entire side of the trailer, or it already does, I should say. The department did visit the reserve site and took these pictures. This is from Highway 109, looking west at the trailer and the sign. And this is a closer view of the trailer and sign. Again, every sign going before the Wildwood Board of Adjustment does require feedback from this board. So again, we're looking for comments, suggestions, and recommendations that the department will provide to the board in the form of a memorandum that you'll have a chance to review. So no formal action is requested of you, and Director Vunich and I are available for questions at this time.
And like the other, that sign is there now, right?
Correct.
Yes, sir. With your permission,
Sure,
Mr.
please.
Chair, Mr. Foley is a representative from McKelvey Homes. He is, I guess, the construction manager, for lack of a better term, for the reserve involved.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys taking a look at this. You know, it's one of those things, I think it was a bit of a misunderstanding to start with, that we had talked about having a temporary construction trailer to store materials, and but it had our name on the side of it. You know, that would be, we understand we're gonna need that, and I must have misunderstood what that meant, which is why this is out there before having approval for a variance. So as soon as we were made aware of it, we submitted the application. And then Ms. Keefe asked us to submit, you know, for review here as well, as part of the signage requirement for review before going to the Board of Adjustment. So, you know, we're excited about this development. We're not looking to ruffle anybody's feathers, and you know, we appreciate any insight you have on this. And you know, at the end of the day, if it's not acceptable to the Board of Adjustment and Architectural Review Board, then you know, we're happy to remove it. It's not, we can remove the wrap and just paint it white or what have you. It wouldn't be considered a sign at that point, is the way I understand it. So thank you for your consideration.
Anyone?
Just real quick, a construction trailer is allowed on the site. It's just the signage that's the issue.
Yes, so there's two types of temporary structures we allow. Both have to be in conjunction with development. One is a display trailer for a new residential subdivision. So while the display units are being built, the residential builder can bring a display trailer and make sales from there. And then the other, as Mr. Cohn just mentioned, construction trailers are allowed, but there's a number of things that have to go into that. There's a bond requirement of $1,000. The bottom has to be skirted so you can't see the wheels. So part of the discussion tonight is if it stays, what makes it look good? And then from that perspective, then the Board of Adjustment will have that information from you all. And then just as part of construction trailer trivia, we've done one of the Board of Adjustment has granted one such variance in the past. 1999 gave Deerberg's Markets a variance to do a trailer like this, and they had a countdown timer on it in terms of when construction would be complete and the facility would open.
We've only done it once. I mean, there's only been one.
Yes, sir.
There's been other sites that they just haven't needed them.
Well, they have construction trailers on them, but none of them have signage associated
okay.
with the project.
Okay.
And like I said, Deerberg's, the countdown timer caught everybody's kind of attention and thought, well, that's kind of a neat idea. So the Board of Adjustment granted it.
You're gonna have a countdown timer?
I was that good and could predict that.
When they're all sold?
You make it?
Once we have a building permit, I can predict it pretty well, but not.
Guys, did Deerbergs make it in time on their countdown?
Actually, as I recall, they were like maybe 7 to 10 days late.
Hmm.
It kind of zeroed out. They were working long hours near the end there, as I recall, getting everything ready.
If you'll bear with me just for a side story to this, because you see what's going on with the legislature, things like that. And I went to college in Indiana, and the Indiana legislature has an absolute deadline as to when they have to adjourn. At 11:59, they pull the plug. It's by that clock, and the clock gets pulled if they need to continue to meet.
So they cheat a little bit is what you're saying.
Little diversion.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? We okay with it? I am.
It looks fine to me.
Yep.
I see it once in a while.
And it sounds,
Say,
it's,
considering that they have to move it around,
yeah,
they don't wanna go through the effort of skirting it and moving it.
So,
will they still have to skirt it or not?
well, that, please,
If I might add, I think we could probably add some skirting and still be able to move it. I mean, we're willing to do that if that would be.
so one of the things, Mayor Boland, as part of the Planning and Zoning Commission, used to be seated on it. And one of the things he required as part of the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission, the City Council, is as soon as the grading's completed along Manchester Road and Route 109, the developer is required to start the final landscaping. So in some regards, the landscaping along those two major roadways will be in long before the development's complete. And obviously, if that all happens in the winter, it will be spring, but make a long story short, some of what you see now won't be visible or as visible, let's say, if the landscaping is as successful as we hope.
I mean, I don't have any problem with no decoration now, but I guess as it developed further, if it's in an area where they've got some other work, it would probably enhance, but that's probably from their standpoint, it'll look better anyway in terms of marketing, if it's skirted or in some way enhanced.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, could you share how sales going? Have you?
We haven't started sales yet. Our interest list is, I believe, in the 200 range right now. 200 people on our interest list.
Holy cow.
And we've kind of released the layout of the site and those sorts of things, and I believe which homes, but I don't believe pricing yet. There's still a few moving targets on what the land development work is going to be the final cost on that, so. But yeah, we're very excited about it, and I think you'll probably see a petition for a display plat here within the next week or so.
Oh, good.
As well, so. We are starting some sewers this week too, in case any.
Any other comments other than saying it looks okay, which is what I said, but think our comment that would be, we're okay with it.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Anything else that we have for this evening? If not, a motion would be is it likely October 9th, we're likely to have a meeting? Do you have any sense at this point? I realize it's early.
I believe we do have one case
Okay,
at
I
least.
just was curious what the expectation is. So, any other comments or whatever? If not, a motion to adjourn will be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Everybody move.
Second.
Martha seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Chair, if I
Yeah.
may.
Oh, yes.
Couple of things. First, thank you very much for attending tonight. And then next Saturday is our 30th anniversary celebration down by the theater, the B&B Theater. And if come on by, we'll be glad to give you a couple of food vouchers. You can walk the food court, get maybe lunch or dinner. We have a great band coming and it all ends with 9:15 with fireworks. So we hope to see you there.